Ghostbusters Afterlife. All right, let's talk about this movie. I just got back from the movie theater. I took my whole family, and I will tell you before I do the formal part of the review here that this was the movie I was most excited for prior to the pandemic. And when the pandemic hit and everything got held back, I was really irritated that this movie was held back along with everything else, but this was the movie I wanted to see. I grew up with the original Ghostbusters. I watched that movie so many times. I'm a huge Ghostbusters fan. I own a ton of comic books. I've bought the movies over and over again on Blu-ray, DVD, 4K, you name it. I've got the video games. I am a big Ghostbusters fan. And it was gut-wrenching when I found out that Harold Ramis died in 2014. I remember where I was when I heard the news, and it was like a friend died. It was one of those things where you felt Egon was gone. And I had heard rumblings that they were going to restart the franchise. I'm going to give you a little backstory onto how this movie came to be. So prior to this debacle of a film that came out, in 2016, in 2017 or whenever it was, Dan Aykroyd had actually gone into the studio and they had discussions, and Dan Aykroyd had a plan to bring back Ghostbusters and to make it a whole universe. He wanted comic books. He wanted new cartoon series. He wanted several different types of films. He had this whole plan to create this Ghostbusters universe, and he talked about this in an interview. And the studio, shortly after that meeting, They were getting close to a deal, and all of a sudden they just changed direction and did that other film that they did with all the girls, 4 years ago, which was a debacle. It was a disaster for the studio. It was nothing the fans wanted, that's for sure. I didn't want that movie. I didn't ask for it. I wanted a true sequel to Ghostbusters. And that's when the studio went back, and at the beginning of this movie, you see that it says the Ghost Core Studio. That's the brainchild of Dan Aykroyd. So I could tell you right now that the Ghostbusters universe is alive and well, especially after this movie. I'm going to keep this review spoiler-free, and I will do an ending explained video probably coming out sometime tomorrow. So you guys can look for that video as well. But let's talk about this movie. This movie was directed by Jason Reitman, which is Ivan Reitman's son. Now, Jason was with Ivan Reitman when he did the first two movies and was there with him the whole time. So he knows Ghostbusters quite well. And you're always afraid when they bring a franchise back that they're going to ruin it or somehow destroy it. And I'll tell you right now, Jason Reitman helped write this movie along with one other person. They took such care with this story. Such care with the details and the purpose behind each and every character, behind the overall story of the movie, and how this was executed. I have not been this satisfied walking out of a movie in such a long, long time. And I'm not going to lie, I cried at the end of this movie. There is a scene at the end that is absolutely, absolutely heartfelt and just so well done. There were some expectations that I had going into this movie, things that I wanted to see happen, and I've talked to friends about this for years, and I'm happy to say that everything that I wanted to happen happened tenfold, way beyond what I was expecting. And you'll see what I'm talking about when I do the spoiler kind of review, ending explained video. I really am satisfied after seeing this movie. I watched a lot of reviews prior to going to see the movie, and a lot of people said that they didn't like the pacing. The first hour and a half is boring. They said it felt like Stranger Things, and I can be happy to say all of those reviews are dead wrong. This was definitely a Ghostbusters movie through and through, and you are introduced back into this world through the events that happen in that first hour, and I was not bored once. And I thought it was really well done to bring you into that world through these characters, realizing what was happening with this story with them. I thought all the characters were utilized beautifully, and I only had 3 minor complaints in the film that were no big deal. There's one conversation with the mom in the almost towards the end of the movie that I thought was a little cheesy. There's one scene where one of the characters is able to use a little bit of some of the equipment inside the car without having any type of training, which I thought was a little off the wall. And I'm forgetting the third thing off the top of my head because these were all very, very minor things. Oh, there's a scene, and it was in the trailer with chasing the ghost through the small town there. That scene went on a little too long in the movie. It could have been shortened up quite a bit. But that was it. Those were the only minor 3 complaints that I had. Other than that, this movie stays true to what it is. I could tell you Paul Rudd did a fantastic job in his role. The purpose behind having each of the characters in the movie, it was very intricately done. Like there was some really deep thought put into how this story was written and how it played out. And the girl, this McKenna girl who played the main character in the film, wow, she embodies Harold Ramis like you wouldn't believe. Like she looks and talks like she could be an offspring of Egon Spengler. I was just really blown away by this. So hats off to Jason Reitman. Like this is what fans want when they get a beloved franchise that they grew up with done right. And they nailed it. And this is not the end. I'm not going to get into spoilers, but I can tell you that this is going to go way beyond this movie. And you don't have to worry about little kids taking over. That's not what this is. And that is made very clear at the end of the movie. And you're going to see some things that are just, yeah, go in and enjoy this movie. It's a movie the whole family can see. It's a lot more family-oriented than the original Ghostbusters was. And you have to stay for the credits, okay? There are 2 end credit scenes. There's one right after the credits start, and then there's one after the credits end. And the one after the credits end is very, very, very important. So you need to stay for that. I am excited to see where this is going to go from here. I can't wait until I can get back. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to get back to the theater to see this again. Because the end is so powerful, and the lead up to it and the just the care put into the story. A story can make or break a movie, and they nailed this. And they tie it into the original Ghostbusters so well. At the end of the day, I give this 4.5 out of 5 stars. It was really, really well done. Very emotional and just fantastic. What did you guys think of the movie? I've been typing on different social media platforms what I wanted to see happen and what would make me happy, and luckily that happened. So I want to see what other people thought. Please make comments below. Did you get what you were looking for? This to me was just, wow. I'm a really happy person. After being so disappointed with stuff like Star Wars and Indiana Jones and some of these other franchises that they brought back after so long, this was the one. They got it right. They got it right, and it was great to see the original guys, and they have a very specific purpose in the film, and so go and enjoy it. That's all I'm going to say. Go to the theater. Go enjoy this movie. It deserves people in the seats. It deserves people going to view it, and maybe to get some repeat viewings. This was the reboot everybody's been waiting for. It was masterfully done, and I cannot wait to see where it goes next. All right, guys, that's what I have for you for this review. Look for the spoiler review coming up. I'm going to put some thought into that, and I'll probably film that tomorrow, so it'll come up. I'll probably release that on Sunday at some point, but I'm going to get this review up as quickly as possible. I appreciate the support. I will be reviewing new movies. I've also got Red Notice that I still have to review that I watched yesterday, so that'll be coming. I'm going to be doing lots of movie reviews coming up, but this movie was masterfully done. So go enjoy Ghostbusters Afterlife, which is aptly named. All right, we'll see you guys on the next review.